Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic, and this is a Vanderpump Rules recap. If you haven't already, check out the recap we just did covering Lala bashing Sandoval. She went on her Instagram, went on a tirade, rightfully so, regarding something that Sandoval said that she didn't hear at the time of the taping, but caught on the reunion when it aired. So go check that out. And now we're going to get to this story. Raquel said, "I blamed Ariana during deceitful Tom Sandoval affair." As we know, last night, watching part 2 of the reunion, we saw the one-on-one where Raquel took us through her headspace, which, again, look, obviously what she did was terrible, but I do appreciate when someone is willing to sort of, I don't want to say relitigate, but look back on their issues and say, yeah, I was blaming Ariana. It was almost like I thought Ariana was asking for it. Obviously, that's blaming the victim here, but, I'd rather hear from Raquel than not. Of course, she's apologetic. People are saying, oh, she hasn't cried or whatever. I'm never one to sort of judge how people process their emotions. Clearly, I mean, you'd have to be a full-blown psychopath to not feel emotions, and I think that she does because she's, been away at, some facility, off of her phone and this and that. So anyway, we're going to get into it right now. Sandoval implodes. We will share the clip here where he's wanted to talk to Raquel, and the producers were like, no, you can't. Like, we need to do this the right way. There's no off-camera conversations. They wanted to sort of interview everybody separately as a detective might. So let's cover this story. Raquel is ashamed of her and Tom's deceitful affair and of how she felt about Ariana during the dalliance. Am I pronouncing that right? When Andy Cohen observed that the former pageant queen appeared to be blaming Ariana for the infidelity during part 2 of the Vanderpump Rules reunion, Levis confirmed the producer's suspicions. At the time, I think that was my mindset, the 28-year-old admitted. Raquel explained that Ariana appeared to be in denial about Sandoval's cheating and never pressed or confronted them. It's the same thing that Sandoval had said earlier, like, well, she never followed me. She was, and clearly that mindset is the wrong way to look at it. Raquel also had mentioned that she thought maybe if she explained it to Ariana, that Ariana would be okay with it. So clearly there was a delusion there that I believe, my opinion is Raquel felt that Ariana was only in the relationship for superficial reasons and there was no love there. And you can see that the way it played out on screen a few episodes ago where Raquel was like, hey, do you even like Tom? And Ariana was like, yeah, I think Tom's sexy. I love Tom. And then Raquel was like, oh, okay. So I don't know if that's Tom telling Raquel that or Raquel having wishful thinking, but it seemed as if Raquel thought there was a way out of this mess, which is shocking to think of because, come on, right? So anyway, we had a few more clips here, then we'll play that video. There they are, all the photos of them together. From what I know, what Tom has told me, she didn't question him too much about it, just believes like at face value what he would tell her, Raquel claimed. And of course, that's called trust. When someone tells you something, you believe them, especially if you're in a relationship. If you don't trust them, it's either your fault or they have done something to ruin your trust, and either way, the relationship's on rocky soil. I now know that she really did want to know, says Raquel. Raquel and Ariana were friends during Raquel's months-long affair with the cover band frontman. So we know all this. Anyway, yeah, it seemed to me like Raquel was trying to be as honest as possible and confess as much as possible to Andy Cohen. And of course, Andy Cohen was also kind of trying to lead the witness. He was trying to lead her to be like, yeah, it feels like you're blaming Ariana. And she's like, I absolutely was blaming Ariana. Yeah, of course. So, a credit there for what I think was some good, honest conversation. So then Tom has a meltdown while trying to be alone with Raquel. Let's just play the clip. Here's the clip of Tom threatening to get a lift. Not an Uber, but a lift. And by the way, the sound is going to be kind of light here. Just bear with me. It's as loud as I can play it. There's some subtitles there you can read.
You're saying that you want to talk to her off camera. Exactly. I know, but fuck. Dude, I don't feel relaxed. She doesn't either. We have to watch what we fucking say. Like, I don't
So anyway, he says we have to watch what we effing say. And it's like, yeah, that's the point. And by the way, I love in reality TV when you can see the boom operator because they try their best to be off camera. But when there's a moment happening, so what happens if you've worked in some reality TV before, when something's happening that's not scripted, and everyone has different communication types, but in the world I've worked in, they yell moment. They'll be like moment, moment, moment. And they'll be like, okay, you have to get this on camera is what it means. Like you have to run out there. So you've got this sound person, the boom operator with the long stick, and they're kind of like, trying to get as much audio as possible. They have the big audio contraption attached to them, which is all the levels so they can get everything right in the moment. And then, of course, you have this producer who looks jacked out of his mind, by the way, just nice arms. This producer, he's got the Fu Manchu mustache or whatever, this guy right there. I'm sure all the Bravo loyals know who this is. But he's like, hey, we'll get you a water, we'll get you a lunch, but don't you dare think we're going to let you talk to Raquel off camera. And what it goes to show is that, and again, I say this all the time, corporations are psychopathic in the sense that they don't feel emotion. So there might have been an instance where this guy was buddies with Tom Sandoval. I have no idea. But now that Tom Sandoval is now that he is the storyline, it's like, look, this guy on the left, biceps over here, nice legs too, really good. This guy could protect you. Let me tell you something. You want him by your side in a brawl. But anyway, this guy's protecting the brand and the franchise, Vanderpump Rules, because his job's dependent on it. He's not going to let Tom Sandoval go talk to Raquel, even if they were buddies. This guy needs his health insurance covered because we live in a capitalistic hellhole where your health insurance is tied to your place of work. Although, I mean, to be quite honest, they're all probably freelancers, so maybe he doesn't have health insurance. But the point stands is that he's no longer buddies with Tom. He's doing his job. And I understand the point Tom Sandoval's making when he says, let's go to the, he says, I want to, we have to watch what we say. Yeah, you do, because you're under scrutiny and you've got an angry mob and you can discuss the merits of the mob. I think the people in the room have the right to be mad. I think as an audience, we need to calm down a little bit because it's like we're getting the entertainment we deserve. This is almost like watching Gladiator and then getting mad at the gladiator for killing the lion. It's like you are an active participant watching this shit show, and this is how it's all playing out. Now, people can vote with their views and decide not to watch and all that, boycott as you want, do whatever you want with your time, money, dollar, whatever. But I think also it's like, okay, let's let this keep on playing out here. Some funny memes. Princess Brit said, I hope Nordstrom's is watching because an attempted return for a refund is coming their way. This man can't be trusted on all levels. And it shows the tag on the inside of the jacket. I got to tell you, I'm not 100% sold on this being a jacket's tag. It might just be the inside flap of the jacket. Sometimes the branding is on the inside flap of the jacket. I'm not really sure, but either way, very funny. Hey, yeah, return the jacket afterwards. Someone's going to buy the jacket and be like, I don't know about this jacket. It just has a weird aura about it. We were going to tell her. We just wanted to get our story straight. Straight to jail, says Marissa says what there? The photo of Raquel being like, yeah, because Raquel had mentioned, and again, credit where it's due for her honesty in this moment, at least. It seems, more honest, I guess, than not, where she says, look, Tom and I wanted to get our facts straight. We wanted to get our story straight. And then Andy Cohen says, well, what's your story? And she said, well, we wanted to, we were probably going to tell you, they were probably going to minimize the affair. They were probably going to make it sound like a one-time thing or whatever, minimize it to Ariana, and then have a way to spin that so that they can continue talking on an upcoming season and not be as hated as they were. Obviously, that blew up in their face like a firecracker, right? It blew up in their face. And it's deceitful. It's, when it comes to crimes, premeditated crimes are usually treated more harshly than crimes of passion or reactionary things. And of course, they premeditated this plan to get out of jail, and it did not work. We kept doing it because she didn't press us and would believe our lie at face value defense. Maybe one of the most wild things I've heard in the decade of this show. And yeah, I mean, it was wild. But again, credit to Raquel for explaining herself here. She's not saying it was right. She's saying this is what we thought at the time. So many people when we do, and again, this is not a defense of her, but it's just, I'd like to expose the lack of critical thinking with audiences when it comes to passionate topics, where we go, oh my gosh, she believed this? Yeah, she told us that. She said it flat out. This is what I was thinking. And let's hear, next episode, we're probably going to get more of this, more of Raquel opening up and saying, this was the plan. We thought we could do this. We weren't thinking clearly. We needed to eat a Snickers bar or whatever. Tom Sandoval then slams Ariana for always telling me that I'm dumb in extended Pump Rules reunion scene. I honestly don't think I can play much of this.
The way you talk to
I'm going to turn this down here.
Attitude, the way you're like rub two brain cells together, like the way you would always.
So he gets mad at her, and again, I can't play the full clip here; it'll get taken down. But Tom gets mad at Ariana for calling him dumb, and she says, "I never called you dumb before today." And then at the very end, Tom calls her a mother effer.
Your tactic. No, that was your tactic.
So they go. Okay, so he goes. She accuses him of coaching Raquel, and he goes, "That's your tactic, coaching people." And then at the end, he calls her the MF-er. Have a listen.
Your tactic, motherfucker. You said these.
And then Lisa Vanderpump goes, Did you just call her MF-er? Did you just call her an MF-er? And again, I don't know. It's cultural, right? The British love to drop the C word, but that's like probably one of the worst swear words that we have, the C word. But the British will say it left and right. But so here, Lisa Vanderpump's upset that he called Ariana an MF-er. And to me, I was like, I didn't think that was that bad. But again, of all the things to nitpick here, I'm not, there's no defense of Tom. It's just like, this is where our good friend of the show, Dr. Diane Strakowski, she analyzes a lot of the human conditions that we see on reality TV, and she says a lot about people is that people are like tea in that you can't tell their flavor until they're dropped in hot water. I probably butchered the quote, but the point being is that Tom Sandoval here is not responding well to adversity. He's not doing a good job when in all these situations, and again, I can understand. His whole life feels like it's on the line. The defensiveness is crazy. What really would work well is just flat out humility. Knowing that he's mic'd and on camera, and knowing that he doesn't have to shout over everybody else, and what might work in a bar fight doesn't work on camera. So he could just sit there politely and go, what I did was so wrong. And if any of you guys have cheated on someone else, it doesn't take away from my sins. I'm just letting you know what I did was wrong. Say that over and over for 3 freaking hours. Have your cigarette, your smoke break. Let Raquel dig her own ditch and just take care of yourself and have some humility. But, the ego is a MF-er, to use a Tom Sandoval word there. It's an MF-er. And it shows up in the most offensive of situations. And in this situation, we don't exactly get a version of Tom that is, fully living in that world of regret, remorse, and all of that. He's busy fighting the fight when he should just take it on the chin. And maybe next, I always say this, just maybe next year, season 11, maybe you come back and you say, hey, you guys were really mean to me. But as of right now, just take this loss. All right, buddy? Okay, folks, let me know what you guys think. We'll have content later on the Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal. It's a new month. It's June 1st, which means, hey, happy June. Got to pay the bills. But if you want to join speaking of bills, if you want to join the Patreon, we appreciate all of the members that come out here and support the content. It's a great revenue stream that helps me keep on investing in the channel, and I appreciate everyone out there. Patreon.com/Dave Neal if you would like to put some bread in the old tip jar for old Gluten Dave. All right, folks, we'll see you soon.